Hey, Think Twice podcast back. This is part two with Thomo. Yeah, we didn't even get to the juicy shit last time. Tomo, thank you for being here as usual. Appreciate your time.
No worries, brother.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. Anytime.
All good, brother. And yeah, just a shout out to Harvey from Harvey Talks Prison as well. He's an American. That's his channel. Hopefully, we'll be getting him on for episode three. And shout out to the Rowdy Boys. Fucking Red Dot Don, Victor, all them. And yeah, mate, I think last time we left it off because I know you were in a bit of bad health, and I think we were just overdoing an hour and a half, to be honest. So we ended with the let me check my notes here. What a good fucking student I am. On you helping
With that
that,
story,
yeah,
that kid, yeah.
you helping that kid. So I'm gonna go to. We've been through most of this stuff, like the your childhood and your first encounters and what led up to stuff. And so, mate, I think it's yeah, just probably be best if we talk about a few of your stories, mate, because they're cracking. And don't forget, obviously, to follow Adam on Australian prison stories because he's got some crackers. Like they might be brutal, but fuck, you'll have a laugh. I'm telling you. So one I actually wanted, if you don't mind, Adam, the was the Breville story.
Which one? Because there's a couple of them.
Oh, is there? Oh, I only thought you had one. Jeez, I should have done better
Yeah, there's,
research, mate.
there's a couple of them. I just dropped one the other day about it.
Okay,
But the second one.
all right, all right. You know what? Let's go the original, then let's go the new one.
So the freaking drug debts. Always have the drug debts, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and sorry, guys, just to bring you back to as well. Like Adam's in prison now. Like obviously not now, but that's where we are in his story. So that's where we're going to continue on. So yeah, the first Breville story. And
First 30 hell, mate. Brutal, mate, getting smashed with a Breville, because how it started, right? This dude, right? This dude, and where I was at this stage, right, was in Goulburn, and you see, this dude, right, ended up getting stabbed up, right? He ended up getting stabbed up, and then all of a sudden, this dude's come from nowhere, right, with a Breville, and he's gone whack, started smashing his cup with a Breville, and it's just like, mate, smashed his face. You seen all the blood spurting out. It was dead set crazy. You know what I mean? And he's just like he's belting this dude with a fucking Breville. And you see, this is why, because of incidents like that, that's why you can't get Brevilles no more, because they're taking them out.
oh,
This cunts
yeah,
are getting
yeah, yeah.
smashed with them.
And a bit more context with that, like where were you? Like, did you know the guy? Like,
Because you see,
set the scene up
uh,
for us, like we're there. You know what I mean?
I'm in Goulburn, right? I'm in
Yeah,
Goulburn now. This was dinner time, right? We go down, like I said, street landings, and we're going down,
yep,
like,
yep,
fucking landing at the time to go get our dinner.
yep.
Um, and these dudes, like, these dudes got into a fucking, a verbal, right? Got into an altercation.
Yeah.
Um,
Bit of how you going?
oh, mate, and it's like, I'm looking at this dude, shaking my head, thinking to myself, just shut your mouth, you know what I mean? Because you're not going to win. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, the dude that stabbed him, right? He goes, "Listen, you want to make something of it? I'll make something of it, right?" And then fucking jumped him and he fucking stabbed his cunt, right?
Yeah.
And this dude, like, I'm there. I'm probably like four. I'm probably like four guys behind him. You know what I mean? And this shit's all going down in front of me. Um, and he's pulled his fucking shank out, and like he's fucking stabbed his cunt, right? And mate, it happened that quick, bro. It
Mm.
happened that quick,
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah.
just bang, he stabbed him. The dude's gone down, and he's on the fucking ground, and he's getting stabbed, right? And then, all of a sudden, one of his mates went to jump in, right? One of his mates went to jump in to try and help him. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, this fucking dude, bro, come from nowhere with his Breville in his hand, right? And just cleaned him up with the Breville, mate. Smashed him straight in the face.
Fuck it hell.
And And you obviously, like when he's like smashed him in the face, right? His nose is just exploded. You know what I mean? And
Well, it's a fucking
if
Breville,
freaking,
mate. You know, it's a toasted sandwich maker for a reason.
oh mate, fucking toasted him, all right. You know.
Fucking hell. So you're just trying to wait there for your dinner and shit next minute. Fucking boom, cunt. Fuck.
And so this is like in a
Mm,
place like Goulburn, right? I mean,
mm.
like things just pop off like that, you know. Like all of a sudden, like 1 minute you'll be standing there, like we were just waiting for our fucking dinner. Next
Yeah,
minute, you know, boom, it pops off, and there's dudes getting stuck because it's usually over fucking drugs. It's always over fucking drugs. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And you see 2 times that I seen these dude get smashed at the Breville, it was over drugs. This dude didn't pay his fucking debt. And plus, one thing that fucking made it worse, when he was verbaling him, right, he was calling him a dog and a pewter account and all this sort of shit. And then, mate, ended
yeah.
up getting wet up, you know, thinking, oh, and he's fucking smashed at the Breville and his fucking nose exploded, his teeth, you know, his fucking teeth is all on the fucking ground. You know, like, it was dead set crazy, and the screws come running over and jumped on him. You know, fucking pulled him apart. You know, and one of the screws ended up getting got. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it was
right.
like just like right in the middle of it. You know, and he didn't know who he was. And then you know this fucking screws ended up getting it, and then like they yelled out lockdown, lockdown. Told us all go back to our cell. You know one thing I was spewing about, bro? I didn't get my dinner. That's the only thing I was spewing about.
Yeah, I know.
Got locked.
I can imagine you, mate. You'd be hungry as fuck. Like, probably low on soups. Fucking.
Oh, mate, like, because there was a couple of days away from buy up, and I was fucking spewing,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, like, and like, I was, that's it, spewing, mate, and we all got
yeah.
locked in, and we was on lockdown for a couple of days after that.
Oh, that's it. So what, did they bring you a sanger at least, or fucking how'd it go?
Well, after they fucking, like, dragged old mate off and got him out of there, and then once the
Yeah,
sweepers, you know, cleaned up the fucking blood and, you know, got rid of the teeth and all
yeah,
that sort of shit, right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
was on the ground.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Then they'd come around, you know, they'd come around and give us fucking like one meat pie, right? One meat pie and a fucking apple. What the fuck's that
What?
gonna do?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, mate, I'm an Aussie. You're an Aussie. We love a fucking meat pie, but just not one cunt. Not for
I
all
fucking
that.
threw the apple back at him. Yeah, well, that's right. I
Yeah.
mean, and you know why I was spewing, bro? Because it was pork chop night.
Oh, mate, fuck. They're rare. They're rare.
You know, like,
Yep.
and I was looking forward to these fucking pork chops, right? Because I was going to get the pork chops and cut them up and put them in the rice and shit. And well, there goes
Yeah,
that
yeah.
idea.
Also, you're gonna make a bit of jailhouse pork fried rice, mate.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay, I'd
Oh
be,
yeah.
mate. I'd be filthy. I'd get mad as a cut snake, mate. I'm telling you.
Oh man, I was
Okay.
filthy. I was kicking the door and fucking, I was going off my head.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
but you know something, that dude. Yeah, it's understandable, but you know he did what he did. But
There's a
he
time and a
fucked.
place.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And he fucked a lot of things up because dudes, you know, like, because at dinner time, bro, like we get our dinner right at 3:30 in the afternoon, and then we
yeah,
get locked in, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
dudes are running around, you know, getting what they need to get for locking, and when this shit's happened, it's just fucked everything.
Yep. And by the
You
way,
know what I mean?
Tomo, I'm hearing a bit of an echo from your end, mate.
An echo.
Yeah.
It's probably this
Is there
room
a
that
t
I'm in.
is there a TV going or something?
TV, is that? Can you? Is it silent?
Yeah, that's heaps
No
better.
more. No more echo.
No, no, no. There was like, it sounded like there was a radio on or something, or fucking. But yeah, no, that sounds sorted. That sounds sorted. So after that, mate, tell us Breville number two. And by the way, I don't think I explained Breville's properly. It's a toasted sandwich maker. So you make your
Yeah.
ham, cheese, tomato if you got it, and all that,
and and dudes use them to cook shit on, you know, like
Yeah, like eggs
not
and
only just
fucking
yeah,
if
all
you
that
can
sort
get
of
it,
shit.
if you can get an egg, you know.
Well, if you know dudes in the kitchen, it's sort of similar to America as to where because there's always dudes that work in the kitchen. They've got hustles, you
Mm,
know what I mean,
mm,
and they smuggle shit out of the kitchen and
yeah,
sell it.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actually,
So
all right.
yeah.
That's an interesting question before we get to the Breville number two. Um, what's the cost for a fucking egg? Because everyone's crying about inflation now, having a fucking whinge. How much is an egg
Well,
back then?
back in those days, you could get one hard-boiled egg,
Mm,
right? You get
yep.
one for $1.50.
Damn, I'd hate to see what the inflation's gone up to now.
Oh, mate, it's probably like $10.50 for a fucking hard-boiled
Yeah,
egg.
these cunts. How's that, mate? I just wanted a fucking egg. I want some protein, mate. What's going on here? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, Tomo, mate, you make me laugh. All right, mate. I just had to ask that question because yeah, I found that interesting. So, Breville number two, mate. What's the deal? What's the story?
Well, this incident, this one happened in Silverwater, MRRC,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
stands for Metropolitan Environment Reception Centre.
Yep.
It's out at Western Sydney,
Yep.
and now this dude was selling Suboxone strips, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He was selling the strips, and this dude made an arrangement. Like for the sake of this video, I'll just call it Macca. Um, and fucking Macca's made a deal with him, like to get 4 strips, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
back in those days, we could smoke, right?
Yep.
We could
Yep.
smoke, and we had like 20. We could buy 30 grams pouch of White Ox,
Oh,
and
lovely
so
cigarette.
oh mate,
I love them.
fucking hell. We never forget that smell, by the way,
No,
White
no.
Ox, fucking
Anywhere I
hell.
walk, I'm like, you having a white ox? They're like, yep.
Yeah, and so that's what that's what I mean. 4 packets because it was 4 strips, so
Yep.
4
Yeah.
pouches of White Ox,
Yeah.
and it was at this stage it was about just under a week away from buy up.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know how it is now. I don't know how it is now. It's probably changed, but back then you could get buy up once a week and you could spend $60.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um, so what's ended up happening was he's made an agreement, he's got the fucking strips, and he's like, yeah, I'll pay you on this day right now. This dude always had people putting money, like he had his mum and his auntie and shit like that, right? And
Oh, yeah,
he
one of
used
them.
to always, yeah, oh, bro, he's a bludger, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they're doing it hard as it is, and he's fucking bludgeon off them.
Mm.
Yeah, but anyway, and then, because he used to always, bro, buy at least $50 worth of stuff, right? Um, Now on the day that there was buy up, and he's gone out there to get his stuff right, and he got less than what he normally got. Um, and as he's walking back through the wing, old mate that fucking that Macca owed the fucking the pouches to, he's looked at him, he's gone, "Are we sweet? Everything's sweet?" He's gone, "Yeah, yeah, bro, sweet, everything's sweet. I'll be back down in a minute, right?" So he goes up to his cell, and you see, and where my cell was, I was probably about 3 cells away from him,
Mm.
and he's up there, he's fucking around doing whatever he's doing, and then 10 minutes goes by, nothing. Old mate goes up there and goes, "What's going on? Like, where's my shit?" And bro goes, "Look, I'm sorting it out now. I'll be down in a minute." And old mate turns around and says to Mako, he goes, "I'm fucking telling you, I warned you, what's going to happen if you try and fucking screw me, right?" Now, he's gone back down to his cell to wait, right? And Macca's cellmate comes back and he's in there, and this dumb cunt, right? This is how dumb this Macca is. He didn't even check, bro, if there was someone outside, right? Before he started running his mouth.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the dude that was in the cell next door, he was standing out on the landing, right?
Yeah.
And he overheard Macca saying, because he silly came in and said something to him like, "Is everything all right?" And Macca goes, "Yeah, but this dude's on my ass, fucking," and because he wants the pouches, and the dude goes, "Well, you made an agreement, mate. You know what I mean? You got the fucking strips of him, you got to pay him,
Yeah.
because you know what the circumstances are."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's turning around and going, "Well, fuck him. What's he gonna fucking do?" You know what I mean? Who does he think he is? And is stupid, bro, because this dude was known, not only was he, he's known for having hands, but, for the knife play.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
he was also known for getting boiling hot water and putting oil in it and throwing it in people's
yeah.
face.
Bit of napalm.
Oh, bro. So what's ended up happening, the dude next door that was standing on the landing heard everything. He's gone down and told him what he's
Yeah,
just heard, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is snitching, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he's jumping in to do.
Oh, he
It's got
probably
nothing to
no,
do with
he
him.
probably got a couple of fucking strips for himself, mate, just for that action, you know?
That's why he did it, because
Yeah, yeah,
he knew he would get
yeah,
something, for
yeah,
doing it.
yeah,
And fucking, so what's ended up happening was, right, they called lunch. They called lunch, and you see in the fucking pods, bro, right, you got a little kitchen, and that's for the sweepers, the heat up the food, serve up the food, the milk in the fridge and shit. And we're all lined up. We were lined up there, and they were handing out the sandwiches. And this dude was probably fucking two or three dudes in front of me. And
yeah,
then I've seen someone coming from the corner of my eye, right? Someone coming from the side, I've seen it
yeah,
from the corner of my eye.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
looked, and it's old mate that Mac owes the packets to, right?
yeah, yeah,
He's got a Breville in his hand, bro. He's got a Breville, right? This guy's got a Breville in his
yeah,
hand,
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
walked up and he's just gone fucking cold rack,
yeah,
right? Smashed
yeah,
him right here on the side of the face, bro, and his cheekbone, right, just like shattered, right? And this dude, he's hit the deck, right? And oh mate, he's smashing him with the Breville, bro, right?
ah,
He's giving it to him.
ah,
And mate, his head just came open, right? Blood spurting out, fucking
yeah,
his brain shit coming out.
yeah,
And he was laying on the floor, bro, on the pod, and he was
fucking
going
hell.
like that. I thought he was dead,
Yeah, well, no
right?
shit,
I,
fuck.
I thought this cunt's gone, mate. He's
Yeah,
gone. He's fucking history. You know what I mean? And then the screws, because there was two fucking screws in the pod, they've jumped on the radio and gone code green, code
yeah,
green.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
for the people that don't know, when there's an inmate or inmate fight, they say code green. When it's an inmate, attacking a CO, they say code blue. Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the goon squad has come running down. They've come flying into the fucking pod,
Mm.
yelled out, lock down, locked us all in the fucking cell. They crash tackled like an old mate. They're smashing him with a Breville, and they smashed him with a fucking baton, you know what I mean, to get him off him. And then what, they've cuffed him up, hands behind his back, dragged him off to Segro. And, we're looking, bro, like, because my cell wasn't far away from the kitchen, and everyone's looking to see what's going on.
Yeah,
And the nurses and she come in, try to do the best they can for him.
yeah. Well, there's
And
not.
even they, bro, said, like, I'm sure they said, like, he's dead, because we've seen the nurses go like this,
Yeah,
shake
yeah,
their
yeah,
head like
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
like he's dead, he's gone.
yeah.
Um,
Mate,
and
his
like
head
they had it,
probably looked like a fucking kicked in biscuit tin by that stage. Fucking hell, mate.
bro, you couldn't recognize him, bro. Like
Fuck.
he's like, there was nothing off him. You know what I mean? His head was caved in, mate. And like, and I remember this like it was yesterday, bro.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
never
yeah,
forget this shit.
yeah,
And like it was that bad, bro. They got fucking an ambulance, right? They had an ambulance fucking waiting at reception
yeah, yeah, yeah,
for,
yeah,
when they took him up there, rushed him up there,
yeah, yeah,
put him in there, fucking, and took him off. And we found out later on that he didn't end up dying, right? But he's now a vegetable,
oh,
right?
mate, of course,
He's,
of course.
he's now a vegetable, bro,
Oh,
and he's
fuck.
permanently disfigured.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and oh mate, right, he ended up getting charged with attempted murder,
yeah, yeah,
right? He got
yeah,
charged
yeah,
with attempted murder. He was already doing 16 and a half years for a few armed robberies, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That got
and
upgraded.
oh mate, something, I thought to myself, fuck, bro, look, you just fucking thrown it. I understand why he did it, but he just threw his life away just for that cunt.
Yeah. Well,
But
outside here, mate, a few strips of Suboxone. I don't think we said what that is. That's it's a drug.
Suboxone.
It's got naloxone, but it's got opiates as well. So it helps people get off heroin pretty much without losing their teeth like morphine in the old days, but people can cook out the naloxone and then just get fucked up on the opiates.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know, so
Suboxone is used to help people get off heroin, just
yeah,
like methadone. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Another alternative to methadone. And he's got charged with attempted murder, and
yeah,
like
so,
word travels. Word travels fast in prison.
yeah, mate.
And bro, he ended up going to trial. Because he pleaded not guilty, tried to fight it, but what's the point? You know what I mean? Because you're fucking cameras and shit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
and you even had these puricants going to the corporate trying to get a time reduction
yeah,
of their sentence. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and that was quite funny because all
yeah.
they got is their ass beat when they got back to the jail.
Oh yeah, oh
Um,
yeah. Because
ended up going
yep.
16 and a half years plus 18 and a half years for the attempted murder.
Mate, because as you said last time, I found it like the perfect statement. Like, jail's a very small community. Word gets around very quickly. It's like a fucking episode of Neighbours or Home and Away. Like everyone knows what's happening, what's been said, who's been up to the office, who's been to court. So you can't hide from it.
No, you can't hide, bro, because like I've seen time and time again where blokes bail, right? And they think like if they bail and go to another jail, they're sweet, right?
Nah.
But what ends up doing is one of the dudes finds out, that this particular dude is going to this jail where this dude's at. He'll give him a kite to take with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To give to their people there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then he gets dealt with. It's just it's a very small community.
So simple as that. All right. So fucking I think Breville 2 was good, but that first Breville, mate, getting stabbed up and shit too, like that's just fucking mental. You know. All right, because no, there's fucking. I love Tomo's stories, guys. That's why I keep saying, like, I'll actually put his channel link in the description. It's just tremendous, the stories he's got. Like, I could keep Tomo here for fucking 4 hours and we'd all still be entertained. All right,
Thank you,
next.
bro.
No, you're welcome, mate. It's the truth. Like, I fucking hell, mate. That's when I first found your channel. That's why I'm like, nah, I'm gonna interview this guy. All right, the next story, the 9/11 anniversary.
Disrespectful cunt, mate.
Yep, yep. I think that would be a good one to go with because you had your heart in the right place.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think I did, and I did the right thing,
Yep, yep.
and you see what happened with this incident that you're talking about with the Muslims. You see, it was at this time it was the first anniversary, the first or second anniversary of 9/11, right? And we're we're there, right? And because in Silverwater, you got a TV in the middle of the wing, right? And you can sit down and watch TV, right?
Yep.
And there's a hot water urn, there's a microwave and shit like that. And I'm up in the cell with a few other dudes. We're smoking pot and doing our thing up there. And we can hear dudes cheering and fucking clapping and carrying on. And like we go, what the fuck's going on here? You know what I mean? I look at the cell, see these Muslim dudes. There's about 4 or 5 Muslim dudes sitting there when they're watching TV, but I couldn't see what they were
Yeah,
watching
yeah, yeah.
because
Yep.
the screen wasn't facing their cells, right?
Yep.
Now, I told the boys, I said, oh, there's dudes down here cheering and fucking at the TV. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to go down and suss it out, right? So I grabbed my cup to make out I was going to go get some hot water, okay? So I go over to the urn. I come down the stairs, right? I come down the stairs and I walk over to the urn. And as I'm walking over to the urn, the corner of my eye, I'm looking up at the fucking TV.
Yep.
And just as I looked up, you can see when the first plane goes into the tower, right? And just as the first plane hit the tower, they're going, yay! Like this, and they're cheering and they're loving it, right? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, fucking hell no, hell no.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
what's going through my mind.
yeah.
And I go back up the fucking cell and I went in there and I told the boys, I said, mate, you're not going to believe what these cunts are out there cheering about.
Mm.
They're out there watching the news or watching the news, right? news footage about the first anniversary of 9/11. I told the boys, I said, they're cheering, they're loving it, mate. These Muslim dudes, you know. And I also want to make this point clear, right? Just because of that incident and because of 9/11, I don't hate Muslims, right?
Yeah,
It was only these fucking idiots. And
yeah,
Islam is a peaceful religion, bro.
yeah.
I've got no problem with Muslims, only these idiots.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry, Tomo. I hate to say that fucking these days because everyone's like bitches and shit and has a cry about everything. So yeah, Tomo doesn't hate anyone, mate. Like he's chilled with every type of person you can fucking think of, you know. And yeah, it's just ridiculous how you even have to say that these days. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, it's ridiculous. I've got to say that, but yeah, like you
yeah, you
said.
keep going, mate. I just wanted to put that in.
And so, yeah, I told these dudes, you know, and look, and they're going, oh, fuck it, fuck that, fucking hell no, fucking hell no. You know, and so what I've ended up doing, I ended up getting the sheet right at the bed from the sheet, and I ripped it. I ripped it and I wrapped it around my hands, right? Because I was getting ready like to go and fucking give them the business, and I didn't
Yeah,
want to get none of their fucking blood on me because I don't know what they got.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I had a shank. I had a shank in my fucking in my inside of my shorts, right?
yeah, yeah,
And bro, I don't know why, because I already had the shank and shit, right? I already had the shank and I don't know why I ended up, you know, with the hot water, putting salt in. I was about to throw it in his fucking face. And I was just so mad. I don't think I was thinking, you know, I
What?
wasn't thinking
Wait, go
correctly.
back. You haven't I'm missing a part here. So you've gone to your cell, you've got hand wraps, and then so what? You've gone straight in and chucked it on his face.
No, 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 because
No.
what happened, right? When I went downstairs, right, I got the hot water, I sussed out what they were fucking cheering at of the TV,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep,
And
yep,
I've come back up to my cell. I've told the boys, you know, what they're cheering and what they're
yep, yep,
doing,
yep, yep, yep.
right? And then what I've done, my sheet that was on my bed, right? I've got that, and I've ripped it. I've ripped it fucking into pieces, right?
Yep, yep, yep,
Sort of like a bandage, and I was wrapping that
yep,
around my
yep, yep,
hands.
yep, yep,
You know what I mean?
yep.
And and the boys, the boys that were there, right? They were getting ready. They were getting fucking armed up and ready to go. And I said to them, I said, listen, because I had the shank down here, and I said, I'm just going to walk up, right, and just fucking boom, give it this cunt, right? So we come out of the cell. I come out first, and we coming down the stairs,
Mm.
and I got a few of the other boys behind. And as soon as they seen us come out of the cell, bro, they looked straight up at us. They knew what time it was, and
Yeah.
I walked up to the first cunt that was fucking there, sitting on the edge, and I said, "You fucking disrespectful dog. You think that's fucking funny, huh? Fucking boom." And I put one straight in his chin, and we're there fucking fighting, and all of a sudden it's like, you know, we're all into it, right? There's a fucking brawl, and we're fucking into it. We're giving it to these cunts, and then like I pulled out my shank and I fucking stabbed him.
Oh,
I stabbed him a couple of times in the stomach,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and like I'll keep it 100 with you, bro. My intention was to take his life.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like I wanted to stab him straight in the heart,
yeah.
but I missed and I got him in the stomach,
Oh, so you were actually
right?
straight going to clip his heart, and then fucking you just
Oh,
missed like
bro,
through the
yeah,
action and all that. Yeah,
yeah. I was aiming for his heart, bro. I wanted
yeah,
to take his
yeah,
life. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But and because he was moving like that, you know what I mean? He was moving like that, and I couldn't like get a fucking clear shot into his heart,
Yeah.
and I missed and went into his stomach. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And at this stage, I've forgotten all about the hot water and fucking with the salt in it, right? And I'm fucking in this car. I stabbed him, and fucking the screws, right? We're all in there having a fucking brawl, and these cunts are getting fucked up, and we're getting fucked up. You know, like I had a busted eye and shit,
Mm.
and the screws come running in. The screws come running in, you know, and like they're trying to pull us apart. You know, they called the goon squad. Goon squad come in, right, and just before the goon squad is coming to the fucking wing, right, bro, to fucking jump on us. My fucking celly, bro, my celly that I was in the cell with at the time,
Yeah.
he's went and grabbed the fucking hot water with the salt in it, right,
Of
and threw it in this cunt's face.
course he has.
And I thought, and I heard the screaming, right? But I just thought the screaming was that my celly was getting the better of him. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And I didn't realise this till after.
yeah.
Um, and you see, the screws were on our side, bro, because they could see them from where they were in the
Yeah,
office.
yeah,
They could see what they were watching and what they were doing,
yeah,
right? And even though, right, that I mean, there's only two of them at the time in the fucking office. So what are they going to do? Like, they're not going to
yeah.
come out and try and stop
No,
us.
no, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I said to these cunts, I said, you fucking disrespectful dogs. I said, how can you sit there and fucking laugh, right, about what's happened? All these people lost their life. Over 3,000 people lost their life. And it's only because of putrid cunts like you.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what made me angry, bro. Like,
yeah, yeah.
how can you laugh about a situation like that? Because, kids got killed. A lot of people lost their life.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't watch TV like even when the Afghanistan war was on. Like, I never looked at a news clip seeing a building get blown up. In their country, going, oh, awesome, awesome. You know what I mean? It's like fucking. It's no good.
and it's personal for us too because Australians were killed in 9/11 as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think we had Oh, I don't know the exact number, but it was like 37 or 27, something like
It
that.
was quite a lot of people, yeah. It's
Yeah.
messed up, mate,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
thought that these cunts needed to be taught a lesson, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so what happened to
And,
old mate's face after he got fucking
oh, bro, after he threw the fucking hot water in
yeah.
his face, he put his hands straight on his fucking face, and he's
Yeah.
like fucking, he put his hands over, like, put his hands down like that, and you could see his fucking half his face on his hand,
Fucking hell, mate.
and
Jeez. So your mate gave him the good news.
third degree burns on his fucking
Ah,
face, he's
yeah.
all scarred up and shit now,
Yeah.
and like the goon squad come running in, and they smashed us and fucking and took us all off the fucking Segro, all mate with the hot water, and the cunt that I stabbed got taken off to the clinic, to get fucking fixed up,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm laughing how they put him in Segro. It's like he's missing half his face. Can't like send him with the stabbed up, mate. Send him with his mate. You know what I mean? He's like, no, fuck that. Just pour some
But
cold water on it. You'll
something,
be sweet.
the leader of the goon squad, he because the officers that were in the office, right, the CEOs, they when they wrote their report about what they saw and shit like that, right, they wrote in there that they saw them, watching the fucking anniversary and cheering and carrying
Mm,
on,
yeah,
and and you see, we were the only ones that did anything. A lot of the other boys could see what they were doing,
yeah,
but didn't do nothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And yet, after that incident, they were saying, "Oh yeah, bro, yeah, fucking, oh, bro." You know what I mean? We should have been the ones to go down there, and we would have done this, and we would have done that. And I said, well, you
yeah.
didn't do nothing, mate.
Where were you?
You know what I mean?
You're like
Like
a fart in the wind, mate. They were gone.
the leader of the goon squad said, "Look," he goes, "mate," and this dude, right, was a big Islander guy. You know what I mean? And he said to me straight out, he said, "Look, I know the type of person you are from all the time you've been in and out of the system.
Mm.
You don't react like this unless there's a fucking really good reason to.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah, yeah,
mean?" And he says, "Look, I can't, this is exactly what he said to me. I can't condone what you did, but I understand."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And,
yeah.
I said, well, how long am I going to be stuck in fucking Segro for? I'm going to be here for fucking weeks, am I? And he goes, "Mate, look, I can't say, I can't give you a time. It's, investigation, all that sort of shit."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it
Did,
was,
did you cop an
but
outside
I didn't.
charge for any of that?
But, mate, I ended up was in Segro. I was in Segro a couple of days later, right? Uh, One of the CEOs comes and he goes, I've got to come take you down to reception. And I said, "Why is that?" And he goes, "There's some detectives waiting for you, right?" And this is like, because I wanted to tell what the leader of the goon squad said to me before I told what happened,
Yep,
what happened to
yep,
me.
yep.
Um, and so, he's gone to, as soon as he said detectives, they're waiting for me, I knew what time it was,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, of
Straight up.
course, mate, you know what I mean? Like, and they took me to reception, detectives there, and they said, "Look, we're going to take you back to the police station, we're going to interview you." And fucking so what does end up happening? They put me into the cop car, because they fucking shackled me up and
Mm,
fucking put me in the cop car. The detectives was in the back with me. Then we
mm.
had the corrective services behind, right?
Oh,
Corrective service
so
behind.
they're following the car as just like safety,
Yeah,
you know? Yep. All
they
right.
were for yeah because I was like a maximum security inmate. You
Yeah.
know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
Maximum
yeah,
security
yeah,
inmate.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? A
yeah.
sentenced inmate, and so
Yep.
they,
Yep.
and they escorted back to the fucking cop shop, and
Mm,
the cop turned around and said to me, I said, look, I'm not going to make any statement. I said, whatever you ask me, it's going to be fucking no comment. You know what I mean? Um, but I ended up thinking to myself, well, what should I do? How should I go about this? You know what I mean? Should I say that I just saw him do this and this is why I reacted like I did?
yep.
But I just said straight out to the cops, to the detectives, I said, look, they thought that was fucking what happened on 9/11. They thought it was funny. They thought it was hilarious, and they were there joking and laughing and
Mm,
carrying on about it.
yep.
Um, one thing led to another. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they've gone, look, you realise that's attempted murder. I said, how the fuck are you going to charge me with attempted murder? I said, you serious? I said, and this is what I said to him. I said, oh, I only poked him a couple of times.
Oh, mate, that's the fucking quote of the week. Sorry, boss. I only poked the cunt a couple times. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Stop fucking whinging. Okay, hell.
this is what I said to him. I only poked him a couple of times. Like, what's the big deal? Like, he's still alive, isn't he? Fucking hell.
Oh, dude, mate. Okay, hell. That's funny as fuck.
Like, and they're like, fucking tempting, man. You fucking tripping, are you? And so,
Oh, fucking hell, mate.
but what's ended up happening, right? Because ended up like the DPP, Department of Public Prosecutions,
Mm,
right? Because when I've
yep,
gone to the court for the first fucking hearing, and I was there with my lawyer, legal aid lawyer, and Department of DPP, right? They were talking about, fucking I had this planned, and you know what I mean. I'm a menace, I'm dangerous, all this sort
yeah,
of shit,
yeah,
and I should get this amount of time, but the
yeah.
judge was on my side, mate. The judge
What?
was on my fucking side.
Yeah,
He said,
right.
"No, this is not attempted murder." You know what I mean? It was like it's not like I went down there. It's not like I went down there and I got the fucking chip and I stabbed him like in the fucking chest or anything like that. It was in the bottom region, you know.
Yeah. Little did he
Um,
know you were going for the heart, but mum's the
the,
word. You know?
well, yeah, I was gonna, yeah, but then I ended up getting charged with
Yeah.
fucking with 2 counts of assault, occasional actual bodily harm,
Yep,
right? And
yep,
then
yep.
that got upgraded to malicious wounding,
Yeah.
occasional actual bodily harm.
What's the
And
what's the
I ended up
difference
getting
between those sentences? Um,
well,
like from aggravated to the malicious.
from aggravated assault, occasional actual bodily harm.
Mm,
That is a serious charge, right?
okay.
But
Yep, yep,
that can carry a maximum, right? A maximum up to
mm.
10 years imprisonment.
Oh. Yep,
But
yep.
malicious wounding, that is the next step down from attempted murder, right?
Oh. Right.
Malicious wounding, occasional actual
Yep.
bodily harm, that can get you anywhere from 15 to 25 years imprisonment.
Fucking hell.
Um, but look, I ended up saying to my fucking lawyer, I said, look, just do the best you can and just, get it down, to, just try and make it not so bad so I'm not going to cop a lot of time. You know what I mean? Um, so the malicious wounding, right? The malicious wounding, because they upgraded to 2 counts of malicious wounding, occasional acts of bodily harm, and then they downgraded it, right, to aggravated assault, occasional actual bodily harm.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Mate, that's a lot better.
and
A lot
so I
better.
got blessed,
Yeah, good. So,
I got blessed, and
yeah.
I ended up getting about 2.5 years extra added onto my sentence.
Mate, that's
Um,
fucking. Oh, mate, you would have been fucking, mate, doing jumping jacks, fucking everything,
Oh,
mate.
sweet. Yeah, I was chilling
Fuck.
like inside. I was
Yeah,
going, fuck
yeah.
yeah. That's because I was expecting to get a long time,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Yeah, for
Because
sure. For sure.
of my record alone.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you know that. You know, the judge would just look at your criminal record and judge you from what he
Off
sees
that,
off
yeah.
that.
But I think especially around that time, even though it was 1 year later with the anniversary, um, that hit a lot of people very hard because it felt like the whole West was under attack.
They
Like
hit a nerve.
we had
It
troops,
hit a,
yeah, we had troops in fucking Afghanistan, Iraq, all that. Like that's a can be a whole nother fucking political debate. But anyway, we had troops there, so it was close to a lot of people's hearts. You know what I mean?
that's
So
right, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, like even though that I had no friends or nobody I knew personally that was killed in that, but it still hit a nerve because of, like you said,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
we were just as much involved as any other country.
Oh, exactly, mate. Because anywhere America goes, unfortunately, we have to fucking go. And I've lost a
Yeah.
few mates in Afghanistan and fucking all that shit. Like, so it wasn't.
But one thing I do want to say is I want to give a big shout out and I salute all the men and women of our armed forces,
Oh, fucking oath,
and
mate. Yeah,
I respect you guys a lot.
yeah, and mate, all I can say is I agree with you. Because yeah, I've had a few uncles back in the day in Nam, and then now no one in my family really went to Iraq and Afghanistan, but like, I had a lot of mates join up.
My
And
great grandfather served in World War II.
yeah, yeah. You know what? I was actually dirty on my fucking great grandfather because he was in World War One, but he fought for the wrong side. I'm like, you fucking
Oh,
tip
did
rat.
he?
Yeah, tip rat.
Chico, how can you turn your back on your country?
No, well, he was in Hungary. He was in